Welcome to Brain Vision.
So this question wants us to determine the edge length of perovskite, as well as to determine the radius of the titanium ion. So to determine the edge length, we first need to see how many atoms are inside this perovskite unit cell. So there are 8 calcium ions at the corner, which each contribute 1/8 of an atom, for a total of 1 calcium atom. There are 6 oxide ions in the middle of the cell faces, which each contribute half an atom, for a total of 3 oxygen atoms. And there's 1 titanium atom at the center of the unit cell, which contributes 1 titanium atom. So perovskite is composed of a total of 5 atoms, and we can use this information to calculate the mass of 1 perovskite unit cell. So we need the molar mass of perovskite given its formula, and we can determine that based off of the periodic table by summing the atomic weights of the components of this molecule based on the formula. And because a perovskite unit cell only consists of these 5 atoms, the calcium, the titanium, and the 3 oxides, we also need to take that into account when doing the mass calculation, such that the mass is only for the weight of these 5 atoms, and we should find that the weight is equal to 2.257 times 10 to the negative 22 grams. And we can then use the mass of perovskite to calculate the unit cell volume, as the density was given in the question to be 4.1 grams per cubic centimeter. After we determine the volume, we can then find the edge length. So if we rearrange the density equation, we can find volume by dividing mass by the density. And when we do that, we find that the volume of the perovskite unit cell is 5.506 times 10 to the negative 23 cubic centimeters. And if we cube root the volume, we can determine the edge length. And we should find the edge length is equal to, once we convert it to picometers, 380.434 picometers. Next, the question wants us to calculate the radius of the titanium ion at the center of this unit cell. So the titanium atom at the center of the unit cell is bound to every oxide in an octahedral manner. So we can assume that the oxide ions at the top of the unit cell and the oxide ions in the middle of the faces are touching. And this diagram hopefully can help you understand the orientation. This would be just a view of the oxide ions in the middle of the face of the unit cell. So you can kind of see how the radius of the titanium ion and the radius of the oxide ion are form the edges of this triangle here. And what we want to do is employ the sine rule in order to get 2 different equations for the radius of titanium. So first we take our triangle of the oxides and titaniums, and to simplify it, between this step and this step, I have basically halved the triangle in order to make the calculation a bit simpler. And if we recall the sine rule, the ratio of the radius of the sum of the radius of titanium and oxygen divided by sine 90 is equal to the radius of the oxide ion over sine 45. So if we rearrange, also, sine 90 is equal to 1. So basically, if we rearrange this equation, we have this equation here for the radius of the titanium ion based off of the radius of the surrounding oxide ions. We also note that the edge length is equal to twice the radius of the oxide ion plus twice the radius of the titanium ion. And you can kind of see how we got that visualization with this diagram here. And this is just a view from the top of the unit cell. But we know from part A of this question that the edge length is equal to 380.434 picometers. And if we divide it by 2, just so we have no coefficients in front of our radius for titanium or oxide ion, we find that the sum of these radii is equal to 190.217 picometers. So now we have two equations in two unknowns. So in combining the relationships for the atomic radii from the sine rule and from the edge length, we can use these two equations to solve the two variables within them. And we can do this by plugging one of the equations into the other to solve for one variable. And I have done that with this equation here, wherein I've plugged the equation for the radius of titanium into this equation, which gives us the length for half the edge length. And once we isolate for our variable, which is the radius of oxide, we should find that the radius of oxide is equal to 134.504 picometers. Now that we know the radius of the oxide ion, we can solve for the radius of the titanium ion by plugging it back into this equation here, as I've done here. And we find that the radius of the titanium ion is approximately equal to 55.713 picometers. So given that the assumption that the oxide ions are touching, which was the main assumption we needed in order to get this sine rule applicable relationship, our estimate for the radius of the titanium ion is off by approximately a factor of 1.34.